Well, Republican Senator Ted Cruz has staged what some are calling a filibuster, although it really kind of isn't a filibuster because he didn't stand up there and talk the entire time. Some of the time he was reading bedtime stories, and inevitably the filibuster will end, or maybe by the time you're listening to this or watching this, it has already ended. The Washington Post is reporting that Republican Senator from Texas, Ted Cruz, in this continued fervent opposition to Obamacare, to the funding of Obamacare, which, by the way, he is not going to be able to stop. And some say, including Wall Street Journal, the Wall Street Journal's Paul Gigot, that Ted Cruz has admitted privately that he knows he's not going to be able to stop the funding of Obamacare. It doesn't matter. He is continuing this attack on Obamacare with this pseudo talking filibuster. Overnight, he did the thing kind of like Rand Paul, where he said he will talk until he can talk no more, Lewis. And then he starts talking about Obamacare, but then he actually starts reading Ayn Rand stuff. And then he starts reading bedtime stories to his kids, who were presumably watching from somewhere in Texas, I guess, presumably. And this morning, just before 9 a.m., he was still up there wearing the same tie, wearing the same suit that he was wearing last night. And it continued. And he was reading from Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand's epic novel, Lewis. This, to me, is total nonsense. It is total nonsense, number one, because when this started, the procedural rules already indicated that his so-called filibuster would end today, and then things would move on, which confirms that there is no chance at all that this would stop the funding of Obamacare. But number two, Rand Paul did that filibuster a few months ago. Remember, Lewis, where he did a filibuster of voting on CIA Director John Brennan's approval based on controversy and lack of clarity, or what Rand Paul thought was lack of clarity over the drone policy, right? I am not a fan of Rand Paul. You know that, Lewis. We've talked about it on the show many times. But I have to say, at least Rand Paul's filibuster, which actually was somewhat more of a filibuster, was because of concern over something that truly is controversial. And it is rather than over something that was this democratically passed and held up by the highest court in the land policy. I don't get it at all. I think this is a waste of time and money.
Right. I mean, yesterday we talked about whether or not Republicans were doing this just as a political move. And you have to assume that after this, Ted Cruz is certainly just doing this for political posturing.
And it's not even a political move for the party. It's just for him personally. Ted Cruz sees this probably as his defining moment. You'll see video clips of this when he runs for who knows what, maybe president, I don't know, in 2016. The Tea Party base will absolutely love it, even though we're going to talk about the Tea Party a little later. Just wait till you hear what has now been uncovered about the Tea Party. And Ted Cruz is going to use this. He figures, even though privately, remember, Lewis, Paul Gigot said there is no chance, but Ted Cruz knows there's going to be no option that will not lead to the funding of Obamacare, that this is something he's going to be able to use. He is personally trying to benefit from this stunt, which is wasting time and wasting taxpayer money. It's sickening, and it's not that rare.
Not rare at all. Unfortunately, well, I hope this backfires. But like you said, there are a lot of Tea Partiers out there who don't really care what the facts are and will probably support him because of this.